Notes here for Adeline. Let's see. You wanted to talk about body positivity. Oh my God. Body positivity. What's that about?
No, I think that we should celebrate women's bodies of all sizes and styles, and that's pretty much it. I'm not saying, oh my God. I'm just saying.
Should obesity be celebrated?
No.
Oh.
At what point do we classify obesity then?
Whenever your mobility is limited and you can no longer walk from here to there, that should not be celebrated.
So that would be like morbidly obese.
Yeah, not 4'11".
But like I'm talking about like a 4X who's just like, I love my body, I'm beautiful, everyone, and leave comments in my comment section. I'm a beautiful woman, and you're gonna tell me that I'm fat and beautiful.
I am not going to say that. For me, I encourage fitness, but I also encourage body positivity. And you can have extra weights. You can be a 2X, a 3X, and you can still be active. You can still have a fit lifestyle. That is what I believe in, and that is
what
where
does body
comes
positivity mean to you?
Body positivity means not looking at someone and saying, you are disgusting because you are fat. That is not okay.
That's fucking disgusting.
What if they are?
Oh.
That's your opinion.
Do you think that the body positivity...
but do you think that it would be a shared opinion?
How do you mean?
By, like, I don't know, most people, if they saw like a, I don't know, 350 pound chick, something like that, you think they might go, oh, that's gross.
That is their own inner judgment. That is their own choice to judge.
Yeah, but what's wrong with having judgment on something that's clearly gross and not good?
Okay,
why shouldn't you judge that?
If you want to cast judgment on someone that you don't even know or you don't know their circumstances, that's your choice.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Yeah, maybe it is a choice. Maybe it is a choice to use judgment. I assume you use judgment, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so what's the problem with somebody else using their judgment to say, hey, being 350 pounds, that's pretty disgusting. You should probably do something about that.
Would you go up to a person that you saw that was fat and say you are disgusting?
You know,
are you the type to comment under people's photos and say you are disgusting? That is what I say when it comes to body positivity. You do not encourage that kind of behavior.
Hang on.
That's where mine comes into play.
I'm trying to answer your question.
Everyone has their own different stance.
You're still prattling.
Now I'm done.
Let me finish. Let me answer the question. Don't prattle. Let me just answer your question directly.
Oh, I'm
Inside of the Commons, no, I wouldn't break the peace by just walking over to somebody and insulting them. That seems absurd.
Yeah.
But that does not mean that if some big fat chick went on social media and said, hey, look at me, this big used chewed up piece of bubble gum said, look at me, tell me I'm great.
Oh my God. Sorry, keep going.
I'm not gonna walk over or I'm not gonna be like, oh yes you are. That's insanity.
And I'm not encouraging that either.
Would you say?
Well, then what is body positivity then?
Body positivity is whatever it is to you. Like my definition is going to be very different from anyone else's. I'm just saying it's not right to sit here and cast judgment on someone because they do not fit your ideal image of what a woman or man or body type should be.
That's not okay. If that's not right, okay, then what is it right that we're allowed to cast judgment on? Can we cast judgment on anything?
You can cast judgment on anything that you want, but it's about whenever you go out of your way to be disgusting and terrible to a person.
But aren't they going out of their way in order to present themselves
someone's
in such a way where we're supposed to be positive about it?
You poor, fragile, fat-phobic person, that it offends you that someone is fat.
Here's the question. Aren't they going out of their way to present themselves up for public scrutiny to say, no, I'm big and bold and beautiful? And if you put yourself out there to make that claim, why shouldn't people have the judgment value to claim otherwise?
That's their choice to put themselves out there. Anytime you put yourself on the internet, you are subjecting yourself to that kind of like just behavior and those kinds of comments. And that's that person. But for me, where it comes into play is you should not sit there and be fat phobic. That's all I'm saying.
No, that doesn't make any sense. You just got done saying.
It doesn't have to make sense to you. You are fat phobic and it's really translating
by your own
through.
logic, this makes no sense. Let me finish what I'm saying. You say if you put yourself out on the internet, you're going to be subjected to ridicule. I am, Brian
Absolutely.
is, everybody at this table is. We
Absolutely.
all understand that that's true. How in the world can you then say that if you put yourself out there to be scrutinized by other people, that it's wrong for them to give a judgment value on you being morbidly obese? Doesn't that seem insane?
No.
No.
What's insane is literally going out of your way to degrade somebody.
Well, you're
That
going
is
out of your way to
insane.
present yourself as somebody who shouldn't be degraded.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Wait.
why is it okay for you to present yourself that way, but the alternative opinion of saying, no, that's bullshit, is not just
You're
as valid
losing
as your
me.
opinion?
You're really losing me. My stance is
Yeah, I know that I'm really losing you, but that's because you won't pay attention. You talk more than you listen.
Thank
So
you very much.
listen,
Thank you very much.
if you put yourself out and you put a value judgment out there, you say, look, I'm here to be scrutinized.
Okay.
And then people scrutinize you.
Okay.
You're saying that I'm big and I'm beautiful, and then other people say, no, that shit's gross. Why are they wrong and you're right?
I didn't say that. My whole point is that you should not literally go up to someone. You should not cast that kind of judgment if someone has a few extra pounds or that they do not conform
I don't think that's
to
what
your
Andrew's saying.
ideal image.
Wait, Morgan, you had something quick, and then
want-
I have a quick question, then we'll move on.
Sure.
Do you think that
Let's
the body
wrap soon. We're gonna
do you
wrap
think
soon.
that the body positivity movement has encouraged obesity and embracing fatness?
I think that each body positivity definition can be different. I think that it's not necessarily about the weight, it's about your natural appearances, your stretch marks. It doesn't have to do exactly with weight. It can be about your natural body and your naturalness.
Sure, but in society, there's been a hyperfixation on embracing fatness, and that has been morphed into the body positivity movement. Where I mean, on health fitness magazines, you're seeing obese people, and you see the health industry encouraging people to like eat horrible foods. And I mean, as a society, it's now just more accepted to be fat.
And I'm not saying that I promote that specific narrative. My narrative is that you should appreciate a woman's natural body. And you should not cast judgment. You should not be ugly towards someone because they do not fit your ideal image of
Sure,
what
but
a
I also
body
think-
or person should look like. That is it. That is
agree.
all.
No
But
fake
women,
titties,
Yeah, but-
women
no
have let
BBL,
themselves go
none
and
of
have
that shit.
continued to gain weight, and then expect everyone to still say, "Well, you're beautiful," instead of actually encouraging them
But that's not
towards a
part of
healthy.
my
Wait,
narrative,
one
so
thing.
that's it.
You said that the initial way that you kind of framed this was for women. Do you also hold the same thing for men too?
Absolutely. If
Okay.
a man, I
Because
mean,
you did say for women.
I mean that's the whole hot topic. That's the debate. That's what gets engagement is the women. But men can have whatever body they
Word.
have.
Okay, let's.
Have you noticed the convenience factor of it mostly being very heavy women who also tend to promote body positivity? Have you noticed that trend?
Who are you asking?
You.
Okay, and I know plenty of people who do promote body positivity who are not plus size or these extra pounds, and I don't appreciate what you're insinuating.
What did I insinuate? I just said, have you noticed that trend? The reason that I think such a trend exists is because I think that people who push that trend themselves don't like it when they hear comments from other people saying, hey, we don't want this as being the normative trend in society. And so I think they have a vested interest in pushing back against that by saying, no, this is beautiful, when it clearly isn't.
Okay, moving on. Got to move on. Got a couple more notes here. I want to try to wrap soon. Okay, you said you traveled solo through Europe your first year doing OF and Tindered in Prague, Paris, Poland. Mm-hmm. So you were on Tinder while you were traveling?
Yeah.
Red flag. How many Tinder dates were you on while you were solo traveling in Europe? How long were you solo traveling in Europe, and how many Tinder dates?
So 1 month I did a full month in Europe, and I did 2 Tinder dates.
Just 2?
Just 2.
Oh, okay.
It was great.
All right. You also said, I want to try to prompt you to say this, but
Sure.
you said you're pretty open, but you do feel everyone should.
Oh, I feel like everyone should get out there and date. I believe that people should get out there and date and explore what is out there so that they can decide for themselves what they want.
When you say that, by see what's out there and learn more about themselves, do you mean Get ran through by a bunch of dudes?
No, it doesn't have to, like, that does not have to include sexual stuff. That does not have to include sex. It can talk about traits, habits, qualities, mannerisms, ambitions, not just.
Oh, okay. All right. Because that's what, like, I'm translating. I'm a translator. And when a woman says, I want to go explore and find myself.
Sounds like you want to be bi.
I think that sounds like you want to just get run through by a bunch of dudes.
And that's your personal opinion, and a man does not.
Wait, we got to hear Andrew's laugh when he's. Well, and are you on push to talk, Andrew, or?
Yeah, no, I have my chat over here.
Oh, okay.
And I don't.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not going to interrupt the show and the good flow by talking over anybody.
Okay.
I do appreciate the engagement. By the way, I know that we have conflicting opinions, but I do think that these things need to be discussed. They do.
Yeah. Okay, last few things here, and I swear we're going to wrap soon. I swear it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
1 more hour.
Meg. Back to Meg really quick. You got a lot here for us. One of your hot takes that you said men exist to serve women. And you said that women created men, not the other way around, that the Bible states. So I have two quarrels here. One, that men exist to serve women. That's questionable. And then two, and I'm going to defer to Andrew on this first I'll give you a chance to respond.
Oh, God.
Is that biblically accurate that women created men? So take it away.
It's very late. I'm very
you got
tired.
this. You got this.
Well,
Just
I wrote
bust out
something
some.
about it.
What's the thing that Australians eat? Vegemite. Some Vegemite. You're chilling.
Waxp donated $100. Curious. Do the moralists think being a legal escort is as damaging to society as of? One is accessible to adults in discreet places, one is online for kids to access. Prostitution is proven over time.
Oh,
I
we
would
can't.
say
Sorry, it's proven to get banned in basically every society that it's in the West, specifically because it has so many bad results. And not only does it have bad results on the prostitute themselves, but even on the people who are partaking in the activity. That's why they arrest both. And so, yes, I would say it's proven over time to do what? To degrade society, to make it a little bit worse than it was the day before? Yeah, I would agree with that.
I mean, I would agree with Andrew on this. And I would also say in current society standards, I would say OnlyFans is worse due to the sheer amount of views that they're getting in children, etc.
I'm just going to read this quick. Nickelodeon, I don't know that life has or will have value as is unfortunately displayed here, but the potential for great life shouldn't be squandered. That's from Nickelodeon. Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate all your patronage.
That's a brilliant observation, right? You only get it once. You only get it once, and nobody wants to be on their deathbed saying, I engaged in prostitution. I don't believe that. I just don't believe it.
Oh, I don't know if that's
just
in
me.
response to that. I think it probably had to do with the pro-life, pro-choice conversation we're having a few minutes
Well, I'll just
ago.
put an extra flavor on
Yeah,
it.
sure. Wait, scoot your mic to the edge of the table.
Okay.
You got this. I believe in you. Get some Vegemite.
So tired.
You got this.
So I'm basically referring to like natural selection.
Wait, just scoot the mic to the very, very edge if you can.
Wait, natural selection is an evolutionary
I've
term.
got more to
You're
say.
a Christian.
I've got
Okay,
more.
here, I'll repeat it. So, okay. You said men exist to serve women.
I'm
Let's start there, and then we can address the woman created men, not the other way around, that the Bible states. So men exist to serve women.
yes. Can I read my thing?
Sure.
So basically, I'm referring to. Oh my god, I'm so tired. Okay, natural selection. So women only choose men that do what they can't.
Put your head on the other side. You're getting blocked.
Women only choose men that do what they can't do. Men that can't get disposed of don't get. Sorry. Don't get to carry on their genes. That being said, women don't select the best men right now. Good men are being disposed of. Women's selection process has been meddled with. Women's ability to bond and choose has been manipulated by TV, movies, celebrities. That's what I have to say.
No, but you said
Gotcha. Can you explain
the
though, this
idea for
idea?
the women created men thing? I'm too tired to explain that now. It's too late.
you got it. Where's the energy drink? Get her an energy drink.
I have to try to catch a plane like at this time tomorrow.
Men, but you said
It's
okay.
I need some
it's like
sleep.
4 o'clock in the morning where I'm
it's
at.
pretty late though. This poor
It's a
girl.
very complicated.
You got this. I believe in you.
Oh, it's gonna
How
be,
complicated could it be?
it's gonna be pulled apart very easily because I don't have the faculties to discuss it. But
I'm just confused because I mean,
I
God
haven't
created
said anything,
Adam,
that's why you're confused.
but then women came from Adam's rib biblically, from a biblical perspective. So I don't know how. I mean, even women could make men when that's not possible from a biblical perspective.
Well,
and
all
even
right,
women were created. Even Eve was created to support and provide and to help Adam.
yeah, that's why it's a controversial thing to say because I said that. I said it. It's not like what the Bible said. So thank you for explaining.
So how did women create men?
So I guess what I'm sort of saying is when you're a baby, it's really whatever. You're a woman. Everyone's a girl first, right? In the womb, everyone starts off as a female, and then something. Every baby is a female first, and then something happens with the You'll have to look up science.
No, I understand.
Oh,
I
do you
understand
mean
that
with the-
point.
with the
Okay, so I'm
X
not going to
and
dispute
Y
that. I'm just curious.
Chromosome.
Are you saying that biblically you think that men came from women?
I think men are like created to do stuff for women, to prove themselves, to push society and evolution forward. That's why you take more risks. That's why you're more disposable, because you're meant to. And women are the ones who select. So the men.
If you don't mind, I'm really sorry to cut you off. Did God create woman or man first?
I think he created women first.
Okay, so now we get to the actual heart of it. None of all the bullshit. We finally cut through all the bullshit. What makes you believe that God created women before men?
I just kind of said it, and I think it's going to be too confusing as Morgan keeps whispering under her breath. So I don't think I really want to talk about it.
Okay, well then, can I just ask a follow-up? Then that's way simpler.
Okay.
How is it that you reconcile the view of evolution with your Christianity?
I'd say I believe in God, and I'm Catholic leaning, but I don't go to church.
Have you been confirmed by the church?
Yeah.
Okay, so you were baptized maybe as an infant or something?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you reconcile these two views?
I wouldn't say I'm like indoctrinated, like not like a completely like devout Catholic.
I just don't understand the Bible
I get
part.
it. I get that you're not a devout Catholic, but did
think
God
I
create
think if you
man,
wanted to
or did
discuss
God
such a
create a
complicated-
single-cell organism which over time evolved into all of life? That's my question.
I would love to talk more about this, but I think I wish we had brought it up a bit earlier in the night because
Okay.
it's 7 minutes to 1 in the morning, and I'm just going to talk gibberish. I need to sleep.
Okay, so you don't want to address the Bible one. That's
I can
fine.
talk about it another time. but
Yeah, we could
I
have you
can't talk
back
about
if you're
it now.
down. Do you want to engage on, maybe that's a complicated one to engage on, but the men exist to serve women thing, that's confusing.
It's just kind of a similar kind of thing, but it's talking about natural selection. Oh, I just kind of read it. I read out my point.
Natural selection. Men exist to serve women.
Isn't
it like, but from a religious perspective, isn't it God, husband, wife, children in that hierarchy?
Well, who knows? I mean, the Catholic Church would consider that a complete heresy that she claims that women were created by God first. So it's like it's just gibberish at this point. They would literally consider it heretical. So.
I feel like I lose either way. I feel like I try to explain it. I'm too
Well,
tired.
let me-
and then I don't say anything.
Let me give
and
you some credit here.
and I try.
Whoever steps to Andrew loses anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So it's like, you might as well, you try your best, you give it the old college try, you're going to lose anyways. It's like, think about it this way. A kid playing, going up and playing against a grandmaster in chess. You're gonna lose, but you're just gonna do it just for the.
Andrew is much better at being rational and logical than I am, so it's very hard for me to get my point across. I just don't think it's gonna, especially like right now. I'm not gonna be.
I'm like trying to understand what you're saying. I think I know. So textually in the Bible, it says that Adam was created and then Eve was created from Adam's rib. But I think the point maybe you're trying to make is that women create men in the sense that like they like grow them in the womb. Is that like sort of maybe kind of?